Thermopylae is a place in Greece where a narrow coastal passage existed in antiquity. It derives its name from its hot sulphur springs. The Hot Gates is the place of hot springs, and in Greek mythology it is the cavernous entrances to Hades. Thermopylae is world famous for the battle that took place between the Greek forces including the Spartans and the Persian forces, commemorated by Simonides in the famous epitaph, "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here obedient to the laws we lie." Thermopylae is the only land route large enough to bear any significant traffic between Lokris and Thessaly. This passage from north to south along the east coast of the Balkan Peninsula requires use of the pass, and for this reason Thermopylae has been the site of several battles. In ancient times it was called Marlis, which was named after the Malians, a Greek tribe that lived near present-day Lamia at the delta of the river Spartios in Greece. The Malian Gulf is also named after them. In the western valley of the Spartios the land was adjacent to the Aenians. The main town was named Traches. In the town of Anthala, the Malians had an important temple of Demeter, an early center of the Anthilan Amphictyony. The land is dominated by the coastal floodplain of the Spartios River and is surrounded by sloping forested limestone mountains. There is continuous deposition of sediment from the river and travertine deposits from the hot springs, which has substantially altered the landscape. During the past few thousand years, the land surface on which the famous Battle of Thermopylae was fought in 480 BC is now buried under 20 meters of soil. The shoreline has also advanced over the centuries because of the sedimentary deposition. The level of the Malian Gulf was also significantly higher during prehistoric times, and the Spartios River was significantly shorter. Its shoreline advanced by up to 2 kilometers between 2500 BC and 480 BC, but still has left several extremely narrow passages between the sea and the mountains. The narrowest point on the plain where the Battle of Thermopylae was probably fought would have been less than 100 meters wide. Between 480 BC and the 21st century, the shoreline advanced by as much as 9 kilometers in places, eliminating the narrowest points of the pass and considerably increasing the size of the plain around the outlet of the Spartios. A main highway now splits the pass, with a modern-day monument to King Leonidas I of Sparta on the east side of the highway. It is directly across the road from the hill where Simonides of Chios's epitaph to the fallen is engraved in stone at the top. Thermopylae is part of the infamous Horseshoe of Maliakos, also known as the Horseshoe of Death. It is the narrowest part of the highway connecting the north and the south of Greece. It has many turns and has been the site of many vehicular accidents. The hot springs from which the pass derives its name still exist close to the foot of the hill. Origin: Thermopylae translated to English means hot gates, and the name is related with its hot sulphur springs. This is also, in Greek mythology, the place of the cavernous entrance to Hades. The first mentioned Amphictyony was centered on the cult of Demeter, which was located at the city of Anthala near Thermopylae. The delegates to the Amphictyony were dubbed the Pylagori, since Demeter was a local goddess in many of her older local cults, and perhaps a reference to the gates of Hades. A Greek myth mentioned that Heracles had jumped into the river in an attempt to wash off the hydropoison infused in the cloak, which he could not take off. The river has become hot and stayed that way ever since. Battles: Greco-Persian wars. Thermopylae is primarily known for the battle that took place there in 480 BC, in which an outnumbered Greek force probably of 7,000 held off a substantially larger force of Persians under Xerxes. Probably 1,000 Greeks remained in the pass when most of the army retreated. For 3 days they held out between two narrow cliff faces to prevent the use of Xerxes' vast cavalry and infantry force, before being outflanked on the third day via a hidden goat path named the Anopia Pass. According to the Greek legend, a traitor named Epitaph of Trachis showed the path to the invaders. The following epitaph by Simonides was written on the monument: "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here obedient to the laws we lie." Third Sacred War. In 353 BC 352 BC, during the Third Sacred War, fought mainly between the forces of the Delphic Amphictyonic League, principally represented by Thebes, and latterly by Philip II of Macedon, and the Phocians. The war was caused by a large fine imposed on the Phocians in 357 BC for cultivating sacred land. The Spartans, who were also fined in that war, actually never fought in it, as they were later pardoned. Gallic invasion of the Balkans in 279 BC. A Gallic army led by Brennus initially engaged the Aetolians, who were forced to make a tactical retreat and who were finally routed by the Thessalians and Malians by the river Spartius. Roman Seleucid wars. In 191 BC, Antiochus III the Great of Syria attempted in vain to hold the pass against the Romans under Manius Acilius Glabrio. Balkan invasion by the Heruli in 267. The Germanic tribe of Heruli defeated the Roman force that tried to stop them. Byzantine-Bulgarian wars. In 997, the Bulgarian Tsar Samuel invaded Greece and advanced as far as the Peloponnese. On his return, he was met by a Byzantine army under Fkerasar at Spartius. As the river was flooded, both sides encamped on opposite sides without action, confident that the Byzantines could not cross the river. The Bulgarians relaxed the guard and were taken by surprise when Byzantine scouts discovered a ford further upriver. Greek War of Independence. In 1821, a force of Greek fighters led by Athanasios Diakos made a stand near the pass to stop a force of 8,000 Turks from marching down from Thessaly to put down revolts in Rumeli and the Peloponnese. Diakos, after making a last stand at the bridge of Alamanna with 48 of his men, was captured and killed. World War II. In 1941, during World War II, the Anzac forces delayed the invading German forces in the area enough to allow the evacuation of the British Expeditionary Force to Crete. This conflict also became known as the Battle of Thermopylae. Such was the fame of Thermopylae that the sabotage of the Gorgopotamos Bridge in 1942 was referred in German documents of the era as the Riestland sabotage near Thermopylae. The Anthelian Amphictyony, an ancient Amphictyony, probably the earliest, centered on the cult of Demeter at Anthele, which lay on the coast of Marlis south of Thessaly. This was the locality of Thermopylae. Thus those living near the temple were called Amphictyons. The immediate dwellers round, presumably the first members, were the small states Ionia, Marlis and Doris. Certainly Thessaly did have a share, including the states of the Boeotian tribes who lived around Thessaly. Boeotia and Phocaea, the most remote of them, may have joined during or after the First Sacred War, which led to the defeat of the old priesthood, and to a new control of the prosperity of the oracle at Delphi. As a result of the war, the Anthelian body was known henceforth as the Delphic Amphictyony and became the official overseer and military defender of the Delphic cult. The name of Hellenes, which was originally the name of a Boeotian tribe in Thessalicia, may likely be related to the members of that league and may have been broadened to refer to all Greeks when the myth of the patriarch Hellen was invented.